today's video started last night by the river. Right, we're just leaning on the river here, on the wall, after having something to eat. In fact, CLA bought us our tea, so thank you, Anne.
They did, thank you, Anne.
Yeah.
Thank you, CLA.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very nice, thank you.
Yeah, Chinese. We're just looking at the wheel. What's it called?
The London Eye.
Did they sail it down the river in big chunks, or did they bring it down the road network? What do you think? Anyway, because we're all dressed quite well. I'm in the
He's got his Alliance
jacket.
Yeah, I'm
Remember Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 12 when they stood at the Bellagio at the fountains at the end? They all walk off in different directions. Feels a little bit like that, but we haven't completed the mission yet.
Yeah, there's only three of us.
There's only three of us. If you've seen the film, you'll get it. Monday morning in London, we just checked out. We're now going to go and get the tube down to the Palladium. It's already been on the news all morning as well, so that's good because we needed to land it with the press and the public that it isn't just farmers affected by the BPR, so that's the whole point today. So we've already done that before we even started, which is good. They've just had a guy on one of the news channels getting very agitated when he was asked questions about inheritance tax, which was quite funny. They haven't got a clue what they've done basically. So we'll get down the Palladium and see what's going on. There it is, the Palladium. Oh, Clive's here already. Hanging around. Just setting up the camera now for later. Give us a wave. Big hand. Stage is set. I think we're ready.
She sits there.
Ooh. About 15 minutes till takeoff. Just going to try and find a drink of water. I'm probably thirsty. People are just starting to arrive in now.
I had exactly the same thought.
Right, I think everyone's seated, so we'll crack on. First, I'd like to thank the Lloyd Webber family for the use of this fantastic building and helping make this possible today. This amazing building is actually the set for Robin Hood, as you've probably noticed. But if we can just ask any press or anyone taking pictures to not frame the set, because it'll spoil it for the people that are coming to see the pantomime, and some of them might be children. So if you are taking pictures or recording, just be really sensitive to just kind of frame the white bit rather than the colourful bit around the outside. That'd be amazing. And any press later on, if you want to do any interviews, we can have a little 30-minute interval. We'll do that in the bar above called the Val Parnell Bar. So we've got to kind of be out of the building by around 3:30 so that it's all spick and span for 4 o'clock. So we won't really be doing much after, because we're going to try and get finished for 3 o'clock. After I've said a few words, I'm going to pass on to Paul. He's going to do a little bit more about the running order of the day. And then we'll go for about an hour and 15 minutes with a few speakers and a panel discussion. And then we'll have a short interval for around 30 minutes if you want to get a drink or use the restrooms, anything like that. I can't believe how bright it is. I literally cannot see it. It's like welding. Just over 6 weeks ago, running a business got a lot harder. The end of the tightrope felt like it had been cut. We had all the motivation took away from us, and it's just not good. What is running a business? It's taking risks. It's not all skittles and rainbows. It's solving never-ending problems. It's juggling cash flows to pay wages so families can pay their mortgage. It's about efficiency, innovation, everything to stay competitive, often against overseas rivals. The only thing that's ever constant in business is change. Working with family in a business can be easy in some aspects, but also difficult in others. And I'm sure you can all think of examples of each. Most of you in this room, this splendid room, are generational businesses such as my own. My family's been on our farm for 4 generations in Tarbuck, which is near Liverpool, if anyone had never heard of Tarbuck before. Each generation has left its own mark, from purchasing buildings to tractors costing £300 maybe in the 50s. Combine harvest is £600. To my generation now, where a tractor is £250,000 and a combine is over £500,000. This is why the BPR bar has been set too low in this recent budget. Just last week I was up on a roof. It was a grain store roof that my dad put up in 1985. We actually very quickly outgrew it. And I remember this shed being put up because it's probably one of my earliest memories. I was so excited because there was this big crane in the yard lifting these trusses up. And we had a barn warming party. I don't know how we had the time, but we did it. And it was actually in July. It was the same night as Live Aid. I remember it vividly because my uncle was climbing up the sides of the shed and my auntie was telling him off. And I actually asked my mum how old he would have been then. I think he'd have been 34, so I thought, to me he was always a lot older. Well, obviously now I'm older than him. And I was trying to think whether I'd do the same thing if we had a new barn when there's kids watching. Maybe not. So I was up on the roof last week. I was up on lots of roofs last week after that storm we'd had, fixing some damage. And although the storm had stopped on the Monday, there's still a massive storm raging at the moment, and it's kind of come from not that far down the road on the 30th of October, whenever it was. And that one's still liable to destroy a lot of businesses in this room. I questioned why I was on the roof, and I thought, the business used to be about building assets and making it the business better and more sustainable going forwards. And I thought to myself, all I'm actually doing now is by repairing this building, I'm increasing the value back to how it was. And when this shed was put up, it probably cost, I don't know, £4,000 or £5,000. If you were to build that shed today, it'd be £50,000. With a broken roof, it might have been worth 20. Well, now I've fixed the roof, it's back to that £40,000, £50,000, which then attracts a 20% tax bill to my children. And when you question what you're doing every day, it's just not right, is it? The motivation has just been kicked from under, a stool of motivation has been kicked from underneath us all. Farming's a little bit different to most businesses. We have no control over our output price. But equally, a lot of businesses don't, because they still need to be competitive. All of you here have been affected. Some of you may be paying up to 40% inheritance tax, some maybe only 20%. The business, though, only really exists on paper, what you're going to be paying that tax bill for. It's never liquid. Our businesses employ hundreds of thousands of people. We manage environments, landscapes, we maintain communities, and farming we also feed people. And many families we keep a roof over their head, whether that's through wages and the like. They might look like great oak trees, but they started as small acorns by someone with motivation and passion. Then each generation nurtured it through their working life. The problem is, big trees, they're not resistant to storms. Annoyingly, we know this storm is an unintended consequence from the recent budget. In business, we make mistakes, but we change direction very quickly. And possibly the first loss, well, always the first loss, is always the least lost. Will this Chancellor have the honesty and humility to do this? Or will she simply hide, waiting for the fire to go out? Because it won't. A month ago, we had 45,000 farmers on her doorstep. We had a voice. We want to use today as a platform for businesses outside of ag to have a voice. Build a bigger army, so that next time, it won't be 45,000 farmers. It'll be 250,000. It'll be farmers, it'll be family businesses, and all their employees, coming to make a stand for the people over the generations that built Britain and wanted to continue to into the future. Thank you.
Just running around trying to find Wardy now because he's hosting the panel session and he's disappeared. Don't know where he's gone. Show's over now. We'd actually lost Wardy before because he wasn't well, and he's not very well at all now. So some people live local to him are going to try and get him home. but he can barely walk. He feels that sick, which is a bit of a problem. I'm just trying to find his bag and his coat. That's his bag. I don't know where his coat is. Never mind, I'll take him his bag. All done now at the Palladium. It went really, really well. Massive thank you to everyone that helped make it happen, especially Lloyd Webber family for lending us £100 million theatre for the day. Yeah, superb. Thanks to all the speakers. Thanks to everyone that showed up. And thanks again to the press that came, because hopefully now they can carry the baton on into Christmas while we carry on with tracks runs and other things and get business having a voice. Anyway, I'm going to quickly skip across town now. Something tells me it's Christmas. Next stop, TV studios. Paddington bus. Fortnum and Mason advent calendar.
This is a proper one.
We're in the GB News studio. Clive's on in a minute and I'm on. Anyway, going to do the birthdays. We've got Shaky the Farm is 55. Carol Blackwell is 56. Sashka Maguire is 38. John Crowden, happy birthday.
Philip Bond is 38. Have I got that right?
Yeah, happy birthday. And
Today we were at the Palladium. You won't believe who was backstage. Only Tony Hall, dressed as Little John. Happy birthday, Tony. Nice to see you today. Take care.
yeah, so happy birthday everyone. That is all for today's video. If you made it this far, click like, that will be amazing. And normal business will be resumed tomorrow when this has just arrived. I have got the whole summit on video and I will put it on YouTube when I've got a really good download, because it's in two halves, about an hour and 15 each. Anyway, you've just seen about 7 minutes of it before. Thanks for watching. Hopefully Woody's getting well soon. I'll see you tomorrow.